a chartered financial planner and the founder of Efficient Portfolio. Now, at the moment, there's a lot of questions being asked of us around final salary pension schemes. Now, these are the Rolls-Royce of pension schemes because they pay you a guaranteed, usually index-linked income for the rest of your life. That is an extremely valuable benefit, and it should only be given up once you've understood what your different options are. Because that guaranteed index-linked income is your ticket to a secure financial future. However, it does also come with its drawbacks. One of the things that we find is people quite often don't understand the options they have available to them with their final salary pension scheme. So of course they can stay in the scheme, wait until the retirement age and draw that guaranteed index-linked pension until the day they die or until the day their spouse dies. And that's really valuable. They can even retire a bit early sometimes, although there'll be usually some penalties for doing that. But what are their other options? Well, the main other option is that they can, once they've left the scheme, ask for a transfer value. And instead of drawing that benefit, they can transfer a lump sum to a scheme of their choosing. But why would you do that? Why would you give up those valuable benefits of that guaranteed income for a lump sum of money? Well, the reason is that it depends on how much that lump sum is and how you want to live out your retirement. Firstly, if I give you an example around how much money they offer you, let's say you've got a guaranteed income of £10,000 a year 5 years from now when you hit your retirement age. If somebody offered you £50,000 to give up that £10,000 a year, you'd be completely insane to take that offer. Because of course you're likely to live more than 5 years and therefore you're likely to get way more than your £50,000 that they're offering you. However, if they offered you £2 million for that pension instead, different scenario altogether. You're unlikely to ever live long enough for that £10,000 a year to turn into £2 million. And therefore taking that £2 million would be a complete no-brainer. You'd almost certainly want to take that money because even if you didn't take any investment risk with it, you could still generate more money for your future. Now, of course, when you ask for a transfer value from final salary scheme, they usually won't be as low as 50,000 or as high as 2 million. But the question is, where on that scale is it? Are they offering you amazing value for money, at which point it might be a good idea to take the transfer depending on your situation? Or are they offering you a low amount of money, at which point it's almost certainly better not to? Because one of the reasons why you might choose to take that transfer value and put it in your own scheme is it gives you more flexibility. It gives you more flexibility to increase and decrease your income in retirement. It gives you more flexibility to draw more money out earlier on with less penalty so that you can create a more dynamic retirement. It allows you to phase your retirement in better. So particularly common trend is people gradually reducing the amount of work they do rather than retiring overnight. And having the flexibility to manage that income better works well. It allows you to pay less tax because you can impact and influence that income in line with your other earnings that year, so that you don't end up paying 40% or 45% tax unnecessarily. But probably most importantly, the final difference is that what's left over in that pension, you can leave to the people that you love. Once you finish with that final salary income, once you die and your spouse has died, as long as you've got no dependents left that are sort of under the age of 18 usually, then that's the end of it. The money that's left over will go back into the company coffers and they'll benefit from it as part of the pension scheme. Whereas, once you've transferred that pension across to your own account, whatever's left the day you die can still be used to provide a spouse pension. Usually with a final salary scheme, that spouse's pension will drop by say 50%, but it doesn't in the situation where it's in your own scheme. But more importantly, what's left over once both of you've gone, you can leave to your children. So you can create a legacy with your pension. And that's really inheritance tax friendly. So it's a great way of leaving an inheritance to your children from a tax perspective too. So as I said at the start, final salary schemes are really valuable. They offer some really incredible benefits in terms of index-linked guaranteed income. But with those benefits come sacrifices around flexibility, around tax, and around leaving money to your loved ones. You should always seek independent advice that's fully qualified to give final salary pension transfer advice. I would look to go to a chartered financial planning firm that is truly independent to get that type of advice, because this is a massive decision. And only after careful advice should you make a decision as to whether you should keep that final salary scheme for the income or whether you should transfer it to an arrangement that will give you a more flexible and dynamic financial future. And one of the key measures to make sure that you're taking the right advice is to introduce lifetime cash flow forecasting, because only really with lifetime cash flow forecasting can you be sure you're getting the best advice possible. Obviously, that's something that we do for our clients at Efficient Portfolio. So if you have a final salary pension scheme, I'd urge you to get it reviewed. The reason why so many people are getting these reviewed in recent years is not only have you got more flexibility with your pension, but the transfer values companies are offering have been skyrocketing in recent years. So if you've got a final salary pension scheme, I urge you to get it reviewed by an independent chartered financial planning firm that can use lifetime cash flow forecasting to help you make the best decision possible.